keep seeing this conversation pop up about.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another segment of Stacker News Live. My name is Car. This is my BFF Keyan, and today we have two recurring guests on the show. Pleb Poet's here. Say hi, Pleb Poet.
Hey.
And we also have Topher. Topher Scott, say hi.
Just interrupting your intro.
That's
Don't
okay.
mind me.
The Stackers love that kind of stuff. Keyan, how was your week?
Hi, it's pretty good. Just cleaning off all the shits people have been taking on my chest this week. For the most part.
Why do you say that? Wait. Slow. Let's go back. Whoa, you said, like, why do you say that for? Are you getting pummeled out there?
Yeah. It's been. I like, we made this big change and then we didn't. There's not a whole lot to really communicate it well, and so have to deal with every possible misunderstanding of it because we've done, specifically me, I've done a crap job of telling people what's going on. Although we gave them lots of warning, it's not very intuitive,
Right.
especially if you didn't read the warnings. The warnings were very long, or not really a warning, but the preparatory announcements were very long.
Right.
We can do a better job. Anyway.
I mean, you kind of need that already.
Yeah, it was somewhat expected.
Yeah.
But, you never get used to someone shitting on your chest.
Yeah.
That's what my mom always says.
Yeah. You guys have any thoughts on Cowboy
Sir
credits?
John McAfee.
You have any thoughts on Cowboy credits? No? Okay.
I mean, I thought Cowboy credits were a pretty cool idea.
Thank
like
you.
them.
Yeah.
It's a very elegant solution.
Yeah. It's about the best you could do, or the best I could come up with, at least.
I think it'll just be a temporary thing, and then once we get Lightning,
Not shitty.
no, it's fine. It's just that there's just a lot of non-custodial wallets that aren't exactly there yet. And we were talking about this the other day. I was talking to Jim about it. We went from a place where we couldn't buy liquidity inside of Zeus to now you can, and same thing with Phoenix. So we'll get there too with these other things. So it just takes time.
It does take time indeed.
Yeah, remember that you would have to
TikTok.
open up a Lightning channel before it was a whole separate thing.
Oh, right. It wouldn't happen.
But now you can buy a Lightning channel right
automatically.
on Phoenix or right in Zeus if you want to.
I mean, you don't even know that it's happening.
Yeah.
It just happens magically
There
behind
you
the
go.
scenes.
And
Something I learned was that Albi uses fee credits this week. I don't know how long they've used fee credits. How comparable are fee credits on Albi?
They're serving a similar purpose where Albi can't take custody for you, but they can allow you to buy basically a gift card from them
Yeah.
that Albi can then use to provide you more service.
Okay, so it stays on Albi all the
Yeah, it's Albi. So what happens with you accumulate enough fee credits on Albi, and then they open a channel to you with those fee credits. And so those basically pay for the on-chain costs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so just another clever
Yeah, it gives you inbound liquidity. I think actually Phoenix was the first company that started using this paradigm with respect to Lightning channels. But it's basically an end-game currency gift card, but it does get around this custodial money transmission thing.
makes sense.
Yeah, great question.
yeah, I think it's just the law, man. The law, man.
3-letter word.
There was a show back in the 90s. It was called it was with Chuck Norris. It was called
Hiya.
no, it was called Chuck Norris, the Lone Ranger. No, it was Walker, Texas Ranger. You're damn right. That's what it was called. And everybody be like, that low, man. Same thing.
Is it really popular in
It was
Texas?
very popular. Or I don't know if it was popular in Texas. Probably was.
I don't think anyone watched it. I don't know anyone watching in California.
I used to watch it, and he used to kick some ass, dude.
I watched that show.
Oh,
Remember that
okay.
Texas Ranger? Hell yeah.
Maybe it's for masculine people.
It was the theme in the show. They would always try, every episode, they would try to write in a reason for Walker to, karate kick somebody. It's he always threw out that kick.
Do you remember those memes where it'd be like Chuck Norris doesn't bend the law, or they bend to him or something, or
Yeah.
those are-
Just ridiculous.
Chuck
Super-
Norris doesn't do a push-up. He makes the world push down.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Anyways, if you've never seen this crazy show before, we covered the top 5 stories on Stacker.news, front page of Bitcoin. This week has been an interesting week. There's a lot of real-world stuff happening, and it's made its way into the Bitcoin space in some capacity. We'll cover that. And we're going to start from the number 5 top story of the week. The number 5th top story this week is what should I do with whatisbitcoin.com? This is a Bitcoin territory post, January 7th from John Hoddle. 33 comments, 4,013 cents. Keyan, what is whatisbitcoin.com?
Yeah. So it's like a glossary, sort of, like kind of like a dictionary of, I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't link to it, but maybe he doesn't want to shill it. But it's like kind of a glossary of Bitcoin projects, explaining Bitcoin terms, explaining the reason John created it was because he wanted to explain what is Bitcoin to people. He figured that was like the first question that they have once they encountered the word Bitcoin. So he kind of wanted to be that destination. So it basically serves that role, but he apparently bought it a few years ago. It was owned by someone else. He couldn't get a hold of them, and then he finally got a hold of them, and it turns out they were like a very early Bitcoiner who had lost faith in Bitcoin and moved to Ethereum, but they were squatting on this domain or holding on to it at least.
Yeah.
And they wanted John was able to buy it off him for $1,500 worth of Ethereum, and then so he got in possession of it, but he's been struggling to figure out what to do with it, how to make it valuable to people, and then how to make it, return maybe some additional effort that he might want to put into it. So this is him here asking stackers how that might, or what they should do with it. Then he commissioned some Stacker News, like advertising banners, and he's put those up on his site. And he's just trying to figure out what else to.
What did the stackers say? Did
Darth Coin comes in and tells John he doesn't understand the world, like Darth Coin can usually do. And stackers just give a lot of advice, I think, on things that can be.
Yeah. So is he thinking of maybe turning into like whatisbitcoin.com goes to like a territory, like the Bitcoin beginners territory or something?
I didn't see that in his post. I mean, he did talk about Stacker News a bit in there because he had put the banners on it. And
so I'm kind of afraid to type it, but what happens if you type it in?
Oh,
it's a weird thing.
No, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just
okay.
Yeah.
It's a nice page.
Yeah. It's a clean website. It has a lot of links.
It's not like a Bitcoin Cash page or anything, right?
I remember when John first, he like tagged me in some, he tagged me in something on Twitter once, and he's like, hey, I put Stacker News on what is Bitcoin?
Okay, so it looks like it has
articles,
all sorts of things. Has a Twitter too?
Bitcoin wallets.
Oh, what is Bitcoin? Oh, there you go. Okay,
yeah, he said he was able to acquire the Twitter domain first.
Instagram too? Wow. Blowing up.
Books. It's not bad.
There you
it's
go.
Good.
Well, it looks like he already knows what he's doing with whatisbitcoin.com.
Yeah, but I think it hasn't really, I don't think it's returned either. He doesn't feel like he's been able to help people as much as he wants to. And it feels like maybe he doesn't want to put as much effort into it as it maybe needs to help a lot more people. And then he hasn't figured out a way to have it return the effort that he might put in, that additional effort he might put in. So that's kind of what it's like a great domain name.
Yeah.
I'll buy it if he doesn't want it.
Topher wants to buy it. Whatisbitcoin.com. What would you use it for Topher?
I mean, I like what he's done with it. I would just make it a one-pager. I would just do one page, very basic introduction, and that's it.
That's a good point.
It's like a basic landing page. I do like how he's linking to articles, wallets, and books. Yeah. So it's cool.
Exactly.
I'd probably just do something similar, just maybe like a different landing page.
Yeah, I feel like he should get rid of all this. Like, just throw all this away. And just
the landing page looks like your typical WordPress page.
Yeah, he should just go straight here.
And I feel like people are so desensitized to that the moment they see that, they tune out.
You think, it's just a blank, potentially a super blank template.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, even this front page would be cool.
He has all the media. I mean, he's invested into this quite a bit. He's got the YouTube. He's got it all.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I think he should just get to the chase immediately. What does he want them to know and see?
Yeah, he's too broad.
Well, I think it's just the intro page is not. You just want to. I want to be I want to be falling down the rabbit hole the moment I hit the page.
Yeah.
Maybe it should just be like getting people to run notes.
Yeah, it could be maybe hyper focusing. That's another great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool stuff. I feel like everybody has one of these at this point, right? I feel like Cash App has one, Spiral has one, River has one, Swan has one. Who else has one?
Pleb.
We don't have a what is.
What's Plebbook?
Plebbook is more just for builders, though.
That's true.
Um,
Yeah. So
else?
that's an example. You want to find
Dude,
a
give
niche.
it to me.
You want to find a
I
niche.
don't need
You
another
have
thing to manage.
Plebbook is a niche is like this for
Yeah,
builders.
it's niche. This is more like broad. And even I would say that's too broad, Plebbook, but this is more like, this is kind of broad. What is Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
It is, yeah. It's a really good
Yeah.
thing to think about.
Cool. The next top story is deep dive into Satoshi Nakamoto's name. This is a prism. Oh, yeah, he prismed it out. Crypto Sensei to Siggy, 50%. 14 comments, 16,400 sats. Bitcoin beginners territory. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so Siggy asked Crypto Sensei about the meaning of Satoshi Nakamoto's name because Crypto Sensei, I believe, has a Japanese wife. I'm not sure if Crypto Sensei themselves is Japanese. Okay, all right. So he's Chinese. You might have read this more thoroughly than I had. I somehow managed to skip it this week. But anyway, they do a really great breakdown of Satoshi Nakamoto's name. They spent most of the time on Nakamoto because it's a little more uncommon and therefore likely holds more meaning. They determine that most of the people who have the surname Nakamoto are concentrated in a few regions in Japan. And then he says he was excited about it because Osaka was where a lot of Japanese enterprises are like from, where they start. And then Osaka natives are known for spending a lot of talking about money a lot. And their most common greeting revolves around money. I think bochi bochi, I think is what it is. And also mokarimaka. And it translates to, are you making good money? And then you respond bochi
Wait,
bochi,
I'm
which
lost.
is so.
I'm completely lost.
Anyway, so
Explain it like I'm 5.
okay, the origin of the Nakamoto, like most of the people with the last name Nakamoto, like, you know, with the last name Nakamoto are located in Osaka, Japan.
Wait, is this person actually literally taking Satoshi Nakamoto's name and trying to do research on it?
Yes. What could Satoshi
Why?
Because it's interesting.
Like the surname is interesting
Why did Satoshi Nakamoto choose this pseudonym?
because it's a common name.
No, that's what's interesting. Is like potentially it's not. Potentially Satoshi isn't just rolling the dice with his pseudonym like you're assuming he is. Maybe he actually thought about the pseudonym that he chose.
Oh,
Couldn't that be interesting?
that could be if that's true.
That's exactly what this post is about. Look at that.
Okay, well, you're explaining it all wrong. You're burying the lead. All right, keep going.
How dare you? I did.
Say that again. Say that again.
It's fair because you just mentioned that you didn't give it a thorough read.
Yeah. I've
So-
in my weekly lineup this week. I missed it.
Are you not reading the news to us this week?
I clicked over this one for some reason. I saw it though. Anyway, the part that I did read and that I enjoyed was that Nakamoto, the surname is most common in a region of Japan that's known for being very money focused. Where they're like not shy about asking you how much you make for a living, how much your rent is, and they ask you commonly on greeting you, how well is your money?
I wish people asked me that more often.
Yeah,
Kind of a nice greeting.
yeah,
It's like, how's your family doing? Oh, I want to talk about money.
Yeah.
You go to Capital One downstairs.
It was interesting too. It's traced back to history and philosophy somehow on the origins of the word. Like, also, there's something about centrality. being
Yes.
Kind of like, where's that at?
it's earlier.
No. So he's talking about like So in those 3 points right there, the origin of Nakamoto, he's talking about like a tribe of the Murakami Navy. Okay, Murakami is interesting because that's a novelist who's really good. Anyway, they like renamed themselves Nakamoto, this tribe. Comes from the meaning of being the central unit. So like this tribe is calling themselves like the most important main force of the Navy. But in peacetime, it's Nakamoto. So they're still powerful in the center. Yeah, centrality is kind of interesting in there.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So are you saying that it's more centralized? Is that what you're saying? Like Satoshi Nakamoto maybe picked the name because it's a centralized
you're
name?
kind of rambling, Jana. Yeah. Just kidding. You weren't. That was
I can't answer that question.
It's funny how I love this right here. It says maybe Joe Nakamoto can shed some insights.
Yeah.
who I believe
That's his last name.
His last name isn't actually Nakamoto.
I know. That's
right?
where I was
It's
kind of.
his
That's where
pseudonym,
I was
right?
kind of coming from. I was like, wait, is he like literally taking Satoshi Nakamoto's name because he doesn't know that's not his real name?
He knows it's not his real name.
Yeah, I get that now, but
Okay.
that was what was confusing in the beginning because I was like, wait, did no one tell him? Like, but it sounded like they did. Cool.
No, I thought it was really cool. I mean, there are several aspects, not just the aspect that I happen to focus on, but Jana was talking about the historical aspect of it, but he does like more analysis, I think, on the characters themselves, which are, can be tricky for Westerners who don't have character-based languages. But yeah,
What does this mean right there? What is all that?
I do not. Let's see. Our family
Oh,
name.
is that the birthday? Interesting. There you go.
White paper release.
He also points out that that Satoshi Nakamoto is written differently in characters from China to Japan. They have different characters representing it.
Yeah, I said in Chinese, it's for clever. They chose the character that is closer to meaning clever, I believe. And then the Japanese version is a totally different character that they choose because they both sound out, I guess, Nakamoto, like the both characters. And I think there's another character too that can also be used to represent Nakamoto.
Yeah. Good job, Crypto Sensei. There you go. Zap him.
Zap 'em.
Father of two, English teacher. There you go. Has a Japanese wife. Oh, maybe that's why he knows a lot about this stuff. Just asked his wife.
He also knows Japanese.
Yeah.
He does.
Interesting.
He's lots of most memorable for me are he takes pictures of his wife's meals that she makes, and then he's like, "This is what a Japanese wife makes you."
Oh, he's
think
been a
that's just
long
so
time
fun.
stacker. Look, since December 22.
Yeah, dude.
Cool. The next top story of the week on Stacker News is number 3, trip report. Lugano, Switzerland, a great place to use and spend Bitcoin. This is from 0285 yada yada yada. Bitcoin territory, January 6, 36 comments, 4,272 sats. Keyan, what's this?
Well, D218 went to Lugano and used Bitcoin, specifically Lightning, from a node they were running on another continent, and
It worked.
it worked. And they
Turns
proved
out.
to themselves that it worked. That's kind of the reason why they wanted to go, or one of the missions that they had where they were in Lugano. And they said 40% of the businesses there did it, and
Nice.
they recount a few episodes that they had. They said most of the businesses they went into only end up having a customer wanting to use Bitcoin once or twice a month. But it's not. They seem to be familiar enough by getting to the screen where they can accept Bitcoin, and they said they were using Zeus to connect to their Umbral node in another continent, which was connecting over Tor. I'm guessing they were using macaroons. Probably helpful to use LNC instead. But they said that tended to be kind of slow, just like when you're using Tor, getting Zeus open can take quite a while. They said it was about 30 seconds. So that was maybe one of the bigger pain points. And then about 20 seconds for the transaction to complete once they scanned and hit pay in Zeus.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did he have any challenges?
Yeah, he lists them there. He said one of his payments was a multi-path payment. I guess he couldn't, he didn't have enough liquidity or something. And so he had to take multiple paths, and he said he would have preferred not to do that. It might have been accidental. He might not have intended to do that. He didn't give a whole bunch of details.
Look how beautiful that looks. Jeez.
I'm not sure that's Lugano. I think that's
not? Okay.
no. I think that's where he went after.
Just drop a fishing line down there. See what you
Might be
catch.
Lugano though. But I'm pretty sure. No, maybe that was Lugano.
Is that green? Is that a green house?
Could be. It could be like that
Wow.
dress though. It could be like tan or blue.
That's cool.
Everything.
Those are houses on the mountain too?
I believe so.
I want to go to Lugano. Plan B, send me there.
In Brazil, those are called favelas. It's weird because like all
Has
the,
Joe Nakamoto
poor
done
people live on
a
the
Lugano video
mountain.
yet?
yes,
Oh, he has? Okay.
someone mentions it in the comment section.
Oh, wow. Maybe I'll check that out. Nice. I saw Joe Nakamoto's video on Lugano and thought it looked very nice. Wow. Nice. This is amazing.
Dudes everywhere.
Cool. You got any other thoughts? Anybody else? Any thoughts?
Keyan, you just said Lugano calls something and about poor people.
Oh no, and if you go to Brazil, one of the things that's surprising in Brazil is that the poor people live in the hills, and so the houses on the hillside that look down on the valley and stuff are like what we'd call a ghetto in America, which is strange because usually in America it's like the rich people live away in the mountains, away from everyone else and kind of isolated. But there it's inverted, so it's kind of surprising. I don't know if that's true in Lugano, but we saw that like mountainside community of homes. And
You mean this picture here?
yeah, that picture there that you were. Yeah, are those wealthy people or are those the poor people?
Right in the hills?
In Switzerland, yeah.
I don't know. I think anywhere you live there is probably nice, huh?
Probably is. Switzerland, I think is, yeah.
It's all a state of mind anyway. Poor, rich.
It's true, man. Yeah, as long as you, yeah,
There you go. I love it.
as long as you got fresh air, sunlight, cup
Cool.
of water.
Let's jump into the number two top story. Can you believe it, Stackers? We're already here.
Dude,
I
that's
can't
fast.
believe it either.
Wow.
I'm like shocked.
We're like in a turbocharged
We're-
golf
we're
cart
running through
to
this.
get.
Cars versus bikes. Both
this.
sides are wrong. This is from KR. Culture Territory, January 5th, 33 comments, 3,036 sets. Keyan, what is KR talking about this week?
KR is a golf cart maximalist.
Is he really?
Yeah,
What do you mean? Like he lives in a town that you can take golf carts and
maybe, or maybe he's
that's
Sounds
He's
like a Florida boy.
he's proposing. I mean, he's definitely not from Florida.
I thought he was Canadian.
He is Canadian. So
Wait, but I thought it snows all the time in Canada. Can you?
it doesn't
take a
snow
golf
all the time. It's actually really beautiful in summers.
cart? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like most places that snow during the
So
summer.
he can just ride
it's
the
great.
he can just ride a golf cart around town, and they're like, "Hey, what's up?"
I don't think he can. I think this is a fantasy that he has.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I love golf carts, especially when I go golfing. It's been a while, but I love to try to flip them over.
Oh, well, I don't think he wants that to happen.
They're fun. They're fun to ride. You never try to crash in like golf carts and stuff? Maybe I'm just crazy then.
I haven't golfed since I was a kid. And they wouldn't let us have golf carts.
Oh, that's true. All right. So what is he saying?
He's saying that maybe all of these cities are transitioning to bike friendly, and they're turning to. We're doing that here in Austin on 6th Street right
Wait,
here.
are we?
Yeah, we're making 6th Street more pedestrian friendly.
Can you confirm that? Anybody confirm that?
I can confirm that.
It's true.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're like expanding the sidewalk out.
I try to stay off of 6th Street.
Oh, well, you're a good boy. And
No, it's just crazy, dude. Have you been down 6th Street?
yeah, I walk down it
It's
every
pretty bad,
day
right, too.
home.
What do you want me to say? It's
Janet, what do
kinda
you
like
think about 6th Street?
kick the crackheads aside and move on with your day.
I think 6th Street is something to be experienced one time.
Nice.
There you go.
Preferably at 10 o'clock at night. Just get it out of your system.
Dude, I didn't tell you this story. So I came back here for New Year's Eve. I didn't tell you this story. Dude, I was waiting to get a lift home, right? And some guy starts banging on the door down there. It's like, let me in, somebody's shooting. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna let you in if somebody's shooting. That's 6th Street at 3 a.m.
That's fun. Good old 6th Street. But yeah, a lot of cities are going, they're going pro bike, anti-car, and KR is like, but they're missing the middle, the happy middle.
The Waymos.
Golf carts.
Oh, golf carts.
People, it's got all the advantages of a bike, but you can cruise in it at like car speed.
What are we in Port
it's
Isabel?
safe. That's what that's what it is. Why not? Why shouldn't everywhere be like Port Isabel? Port Isabel's near Corpus Christi, right? It's like that.
It's over there by the Elon launch stuff. Did you see golf carts over there when you guys went to the SpaceX launch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See. But
That
you
was
usually
the
see
primary mode of transportation.
you usually see golf carts like on islands and like not islands but like beach. Yeah.
So one thing that I saw, and I've seen this in many places, it's pretty popular, is you have the RV set up, and then you have the golf cart.
Yeah. You'd see it on the highways. You see them towing their golf carts with their RVs.
Yeah.
So here
That's the
at
life,
UT
bro.
they use golf carts too. So if you go near UT, like you probably get to there like maybe 15th or 19th, you might see a golf cart like traveling around because they travel around in golf carts on Guadalupe and all the way down to Red River too. So that's where you'll kind of see it in Austin as far as the golf carts. But I've never seen any downtown though.
Neither have I. I don't think you might not even be allowed to
sure you're
have them on the street. Well, like a normal spot, and you might be able to get in like really tiny spots.
I think
for
you could
parallel
park them on
parking.
motorcycles.
Somebody should
Yeah.
try it. Somebody should try getting a golf cart and then just golf cart.
And then just like slap a city sticker on your bumper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, make it look like an official city vehicle.
I don't buy his argument against e-bikes, though. He says, I feel like e-bikes are a good middle ground. But he says e-bikes have made biking faster, but it remains one of the most dangerous ways to travel in a city.
Bikes are very dangerous. Without a lot of little people do it without a helmet because they're like, I don't want people to know I'm a wuss. I'll risk cracking my skull open.
why you do that.
Let's focus in on that though, and like e-bikes and like deaths. Like I would love to see that report. I'm just saying it's a weak argument right now.
I'll say something. I ride a motorcycle, but I need to get in. I need to take it to the shop. It's been a while. Anyways, I will say this: I do like riding without a helmet sometimes, because sometimes it's either really too hot, or sometimes you just want to feel the wind when you're riding. There's something about when you're riding, like you've ridden a bicycle, it's the same thing, but just like 20 times faster. And you just want to feel that, and that's why people don't wear helmets.
Yeah, and you can have people like riding shotgun. You can have passengers. It's actually I think he's on to something.
I think getting rid of cars. I think they should do that here downtown for sure. What do you think? No?
What about the deliveries? What about?
I think they should. I think they should close off certain streets and make them into. How do they do it in New York?
Oh, with the congestion pricing? That's the new thing that they did.
Don't they close off certain streets or whatever? I thought that's what they did. Like they skip every other street.
Well, they have one-way streets,
Well, we have one-way streets downtown too.
but there's only certain streets that they close down. Like Times Square is pretty much closed down.
I think Congress and 6th Street should be closed down for sure.
it's pedestrian traffic only.
But those are like kind of two of the major. You'd have to go around everything. But I mean, I would love it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's the right way.
Like, because whenever they do like South by or whenever there's like a festival or movie thing, whatever, it's really nice to be able to walk in the middle of the street and.
No, 2nd Street. That's the one that could be closed.
It's a pretty sleepy street, and it's a very nice street.
Oh yeah, 2nd Street's a very nice street.
Really is. The other thing I wanted to say, when I worked at a grocery store, an old man used to come in who would ride a tractor in. He would buy his groceries.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you ever talk to him? What did he do?
I would talk to him.
He'd
He'd come through my clerk. I mean, he was a farmer.
Oh, did he say that? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you ever ask him?
I don't think I asked him if he was a farmer.
Hey,
He wasn't very talkative. He was,
Oh.
it was just, he would wear
Dude, I would
overalls.
have been his best friend. I would have been like,
I
wanting to
know.
all
I
about him.
know. But, yeah, it was fun. seeing him do that because I believe he probably didn't have a regular driver's license. So so he couldn't keep insurance on a car, but he had a tractor.
driver's license for that?
Yeah, because he was a farmer who probably lived a few like prairies away or something.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know what this is. Would this be? What is that, Topher? What is that? Oh, that's a motorcycle with a
passenger
with a carrying. What do they call that?
sidecar.
Sidecar. There you go. That's cool. I feel like they have those in like movies, right? Like in Indian movies.
We have to bring race and nationality into this car.
Wait.
But yeah, I think they
was
do.
that racist? I don't think it was racist. maybe in a different state.
All this H-1B talk
in Texas.
car.
I don't think
It's
you
a hot
can talk
topic.
like that in Texas. It's fine.
Yeah, we're cool with racism here.
It's not racist. Anyways.
That'd make a cool pedicab.
Oh yeah.
Have one of those instead.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
All right. We're going to jump into the number one top story of the week. It's going to be how to run an economic node. Wow. This is from Scoresby, January 8th, Bitcoin territory. 48 comments, 24,000 sats. Wow. 24,000 sats? Is that the most this year so far for the number one top story of the
I
week?
think so. I think it's it's
Congrats to
yeah.
Scoresby.
It's definitely one of the better
Who I
posts
haven't
of the
seen
year.
in a really long time. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
really
Keyan,
is.
what is this?
So this is a hard this is a hard topic to understand, but Scoresby does an excellent job explaining what an economic node is on Bitcoin and why it's important. Why, of all the node types you could have, maybe second only to a mining node, you might or a miner, you might want a economic node because it helps you or it allows you to enforce consensus rules and participate in voting on consensus in a way that simply running a node and doing nothing with your node does not. And so he kind of explains what he means, what it means to be an economic node, what it means to do something with your node. And specifically, it's you attempting to acquire Bitcoin that follows the rules of your node, the rules of your choosing, by trading things for that Bitcoin. And that is you effectively voting for certain consensus rules. And so if you want to if you actually want to participate in Bitcoin consensus, it's not necessarily enough just to run a node. You have to run a node and do things with it, meaning exchange things for it. Miners are economic nodes, and you could view them as economic nodes because they're exchanging hash rate for Bitcoin. But other types of economic nodes, he describes his own poster store here. Scoresby is exchanging his labor, his posters for Bitcoin. And that makes him an economic node. And if someone sends him a Bitcoin that does not follow those rules, he can refuse shipment. And that's him saying, you need to get on the right consensus. You need to get on the thing that I think is valuable. And so if you're running a node and you're not actually doing things with your node that is accepting Bitcoin on your node, you aren't playing this role in the network. At most, you're able to, you gain some privacy if you're like watching your own wallet, your own UTXOs. Maybe you're relaying transactions. A lot of people don't, and blocks, and helping the network that way, helping some of the censorship resistance, helping people get transactions to miners. But you're not playing much of a role in consensus, and that's kind of the role you want to play. Because if you can imagine, if you really want Bitcoin consensus to change in some way, the best thing you can do is have like the most economic node on Bitcoin's network. So, either again being a miner and exchanging a lot of hash rate for Bitcoin, or being a very large merchant, or being a very large LSP. Probably allows you to exert quite a bit of consensus pressure. Running an exchange and exchanging fiat for Bitcoin. Anyway, that it's a great explanation. Here in the footnotes, he quotes a lot of people, saying the same thing. I think for me, I encountered this idea most clearly in Crypto Economics, which was written by Voscale. We talked about him, I think, a podcast or two ago, but he thought a lot about these kinds of things, and he lays out. Is where I kind of began using the word economic node a lot. Is when I started reading him.
Yeah, this is very well put together. I love this example that he gives. Hodlers do not enforce consensus rules. And then he goes into the reasoning why. He even goes into like a forked situation where you would have a shitcoin. And yeah, it's really good stuff. I'm really impressed with this.
Yeah. It's like one of the more important concepts.
It's almost like
Bitcoin.
a research paper. Almost.
Yeah, I'd say the most important concept in Bitcoin that most Bitcoiners don't understand.
Put this on whatisbitcoin.com.
There you go.
So we had the top comment. The top comment was from... Well, where was the top comment? The top comment was from Elvis Mercury. He said, I really like this phrasing. He's talking about your expression of the rules is only as strong as your demand for the coin that follows those rules. Makes me think differently about the value of Lightning routing nodes, in particular in the leverage they exert on the network, mediating all the transactional demand. Of course, we said the Lightning Network definitely makes it harder for me to think about. For instance, if we use a big LSP as an example, for like Phoenix, they do a lot of payments, but their Bitcoin node only sees these payments in aggregate. They open or close a channel. I'm not an expert on Lightning, but it feels like transactions that really matters is the open, because in the channel close, the two parties are introducing new coins, but rather deciding where to apportion the sats that are already in the channel. So it makes sense that Phoenix exerts influence over Bitcoin consensus rules. Yeah, how would you, Keyan, how would you picture that? How would you think through that on the Lightning Network? Would it just come down through the would it come down to the LSP or to the multis or the Lightning channels that you are making with your peers? Because you're settling at some point.
Yeah, at some point you're settling. But so I think what the scenario we're imagining is you've already opened your channels, but Bitcoin experiences a fork while that channel is open. And the way Lightning channels work is you're pre-signing a bunch of transactions. You're kind of double spending with your counterparty, and you're kind of with them negotiating what the correct double spending is, or so that it's only a single spending. But it's really when you go back to chain that becomes really important. There's null count links here to a post asked a few years ago about this specific question.
So the question was Lightning channel hard fork scenario. Just wondering what happens to Lightning channels after a hard fork. Would it be the opening or closing balance or some kind of snapshot? Topher?
The channel gets duplicated, so it exists on both forks. So nothing really changes.
I think if you, as a person participating in the channel, you would probably try to claim your Bitcoin on both forks. That would be the safest thing to do. And then, maybe make your decision about which consensus you like. Or if you only really preferred one of the forks, you would just go and make sure your channel was cooperatively closed on that fork.
Yeah, well, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. I can see why it was #1 post this week. This is great. Do you have any other great stuff? Pleb Poet said, or I'll just let her read her comment. That's never been a thing before. Here, you read your comment on Stacker News Live. Wow, there we go.
I said, ooh, I
That's not
totally
hard.
get it. The game theory of the node is still attached to practical economic principles. That's pretty much what he demonstrated in his thing, yeah. Right?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Is she right? No one answered her question, though.
Oh, the game theory of a node is still attached to practical economic. I don't know what you mean by practical economic principles, I guess, the game theory is attached to economic principles. What do you mean? What do you mean by practical economic? Oh, you mean it's still
Just like supply and demand, I guess. Like if you're going to use the coin, like he was saying, like
yeah.
you're enforcing the demand
Yeah.
when you use the coin.
Yeah, it's definitely still that way. It's not. Yeah, it's not like things change dramatically as you get to the game theory of node running.
This is a great post. Stackers, if you didn't check it out this week, you should go and read it. You will be very well rewarded with knowledge. How to run an economic node from Scoresby. That's great.
Buy a Scoresby poster.
You didn't impress Topher.
Oh, Scoresby, your SSL cert is expired on
what?
bitcoinscoresby.com.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
10 days old. It expired as the year changed.
It's okay. We'll get it fixed. It's a new year.
I feel like he missed one of the biggest points of running a node, and it's not in his post.
There we go. This is why Topher didn't acknowledge the post. I was wondering. I knew there was something. What'd you find, Topher?
Well, so he writes, when it comes to enforcing the rules of Bitcoin, about the only things your node can do are refuse to add a transaction or refuse to add a block. But there's a third point that should be on here that's more important than the other two, is that you get to decide or refuse to relay transactions and blocks. And that's more important than the first two because like Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer network, so it's not like a hub and spoke like the traditional internet. So you really rely on your peers to be able to send you transactions and to relay your transactions out and blocks.
Wow. I think implicit. I think what he said implies those things because if you are rejecting a transaction or rejecting a block, you're also not relaying it.
Well,
but he could have acknowledged relaying. He didn't acknowledge it, but he does acknowledge relaying somewhere in here. I recall.
He says like your node acts as a dead end for transactions, or doesn't record the block. But I don't see anything about.
I think the dead end kind of implies that it's not getting relayed.
Because of the vast majority of blocks and transactions don't belong to you. You're just relaying them. So by choosing what you relay, especially if you're a node that has a public IP and can accept inbound connections, you're even more important than a lot of other nodes. So you get to decide what the policy is. Mm-hmm. And if enough of you agree on what the policy, and you can see this with mempool policy, where mempool policy dictates what transactions can propagate. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's
it's a good point.
We fight about that all the time.
It's a good point.
Like
it's a very topical thing.
Point, but anyway,
he mentions it at the bottom. I believe more about relaying, and that in addition to this economic node role, relay you are by just running a node without doing other things with your node, relaying is an important role that your node plays.
Yeah, I think that, but I think Topher's saying that he should put it here at the top.
Yeah, more precedence.
Yeah, at the top.
Because they have different nodes with different mempool policies. Like you have Libre node, you have what's
knots.
You have knots. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, so it's like it's the most contentious part about running a node is what are your policies for relaying transactions?
Day to day, certainly, because we're dealing with a fork every 4 years at most. So, and not hard forks. So, yeah.
There you go, Scoresby. If you get a chance, go back and remake it. I mean,
I agree with the other points.
There you go. Any other fixes, Topher, that you see here?
No. Just like little nitpicks, like somewhere he's talking about how if there's a fork and you selling your coin isn't that big of a, like he downplays it and he uses the example of a one-to-one trade, but that's in practice, that's not what happens. You're signaling to the open market what is the exchange rate between these two coins, and that does matter. That's how like Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash was decided. Is you could see like what the exchange rate was between the two coins, and there was a clear winner. And so,
thanks, Brian Armstrong.
Yeah, so it's one of the ways that you get to vote in a fork is you get to basically dump your coins in exchange for like you increase your position on your side of the fork while someone else increases their position on their side of the fork.
His rebuttal to that, he used an analogy for the rebuttal to that, and it's like being a vegan. It's like
I saw that part.
Yeah, so being a vegan and supporting your veganism by selling cheap hamburgers.
But you're not selling, you're exchanging. So you're getting rid of all the meat that you don't want anymore, in exchange for more of what you do want.
That's an interesting
in
rebuttal.
that exchange, you're signaling to the market,
I want grain instead of beef.
and the market picks up on those signals and allows
And they
other
start
people
producing
to
more
start
grain.
making like
Yeah.
their economic decisions.
Yeah, I don't think I would say he's not. This is I think a subtle point that I personally didn't really comprehend too much. But I think what he's suggesting is that at some point, especially in a Bitcoin future where there aren't exchanges, because exchanges, in my opinion, are probably the biggest economic nodes, and so that's basically what we're talking about right now. Is like that exchange rate matters a lot because, and I think it matters a lot mostly because exchanges have the biggest economic nodes. But I don't know if that's, but in a future where that isn't true, where exchanges don't exist and it's really just fork against fork and not fork and dollar. Is that true? I think that's what the exercise he's going through here, which I had never gone through, so it was a little bit foreign to me. Maybe you have a better sense of it.
Well, so you can't, I mean, if you choose to just look at it in isolation, it's a fork of this coin. So now there's like two sides of a fork. Then you're missing the bigger picture, which is, okay, but Bitcoin is a currency among many other currencies. And that's why we have exchanges, is to put a price on exchanging between different currencies. And so the overall market, what they want to see is they want to see price signals. And so if you just look at this in isolation, oh, this is two sides of a fork where people are just exchanging coins between their fork, that's one thing. But the rest of the market looks at this because they need to put a price on what the coin is on each side of that fork, what the exchange rate should be for other currencies. And so you are signaling to the rest of the network in participating in this, what should the exchange rate be for your particular side of the fork when it comes to other currencies. And so it's easy to highlight USD because that's by far the biggest one. But yeah, I mean, that's important because even if it's, essentially you can look at it as one-to-one in isolation. It's like, well, what is the USD price? What is the price against other cryptocurrencies? How well can that money that you're receiving in exchange move into other currency pairs?
So Topher, what you need to do? You need my thoughts or my reply to Scoresby's How to Run an Economic Node. You need like a second news post.
I'd be curious.
I've seen you do these before too, where you'll do like your own Blue Slime.
Oh, that's right.
Post, and it'll be like, oh crap.
What was your last rebuttal? You did a rebuttal.
He does these from time to time.
Do you remember?
I think it was on eCash.
Right. Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
But you should do one. You should do one on this one.
I don't want to dump on Scoresby's post. It's a great post.
I don't think he loves
done-
this stuff.
Yeah.
Scoresby loves.
He wrote it to learn.
He wants to learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scoresby loves this stuff. I'm trying not to speak for Scoresby, but knowing him, he would be okay listening.
I'm very passionate about the fork thing because I feel like
It's coming.
this is a conspiracy in my head. I don't even believe this is a real conspiracy. This is only for my personal amusement, but I feel there's a conspiracy for Bitcoin derivative products like ETFs to control as much Bitcoin as possible that on paper belong to other people, so that when a hard fork happens, they essentially have control over which fork is chosen.
Yeah.
And
Through this exchange rate mechanism.
yes, because essentially they get to decide which fork is valid. Not
Which
the
fork is
actual-
valuable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they get to decide.
Interesting.
So, and they have a bunch of money to play with to make that happen, because on that they can manipulate the liquidity in the markets because they have all of that at their disposal and they have control over it. Like even though you have a share of an ETF, you don't get to control the underlying asset, and so all these economic games can be played with your money. I mean, this is what Alameda Research was doing with people's money, and a lot of other exchanges do this.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, and just markets in general. But yeah, that like you have some share that represents your exposure to an asset, but you don't control the asset. So that asset can be used in market warfare, and it can be used against you.
Right.
And you really don't have any say about that.
Yeah.
So like GameStop stock, like if you're holding GameStop stock, like that stock's being manipulated to the moon, up and down, and you don't have any control over that necessarily because the players that are involved
have much more
well,
power to manipulate
they
price.
can halt trading,
Yeah.
which affects the stock price, which affects your portfolio. So it's like the same with you hold this share to an ETF. If there's a fork, it doesn't even matter like what you want, what fork you believe in, or what the price of your coin is going to be for whatever fork that you agree in. It's like you don't have any control of that at all. Whereas if you hold Bitcoin, you actually get to participate in that. And I think that's important.
It definitely is important. So you're saying that people who are in the ETF need to view them as not in control of that Bitcoin that they get the price exposure to. But you're not saying that ETFs have more power over consensus, are you?
They do. They do.
Well, technically, like let's be honest here. Like, they're not holding Bitcoin, are they? Like, Coinbase is holding.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other issue.
That's
Are they
what I'm
actually
saying,
holding
like,
Bitcoin?
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot more centralized.
I was just going to say that Scoresby, I think, addresses this point in here, and I think Voskuil does in his book as well, where while the pricing mechanism attack is possible and it likely has some effect on the market, it's not sustainable. Like eventually, like if people really want the other fork instead, and BlackRock is basically cratering the price by making the exchange rate bad, eventually they run out of that power, and then the price of the thing that they're cratering can begin to compete with it on level footing. He that's one of the.
Who says that?
Scoresby in here, he talks about.
But who says that? Who's he quoting?
Voskuil. I mean, he's not quoting Voskuil, but similar ideas are shared there. But it's like because the example he goes through is like BlackRock is trading BlackRock Bitcoin. They're selling you 100 BlackRock Bitcoin.
It's right here, right? The dumping fallacy.
Yeah, the dumping fallacy.
So he says there's a theory that selling units from one side of a split coin for the units on the other reduces relative utility of the sold coin. However, each sale requires a buyer. As a trade, the action is symmetrical, and therefore the theory is invalid.
I think the conclusion is that it's invalid because it isn't sustainable. So, but I'm not real. I haven't gone too deep.
But didn't they say they said that during the hash wars, right? That wasn't sustainable for heirs to continue throwing money at the hash power. Do you remember that when that was going on?
The hash wars.
When Bitcoin Cash, the block wars.
Oh yeah. Well, so most exchanges made both coins available to their customers. There were a couple of custodians that didn't, but most did. So people just voted with their wallet. But I mean, I agree that if you believe in the fundamentals of Bitcoin, then if BlackRock coin comes out, then it doesn't matter what the price is. You're going to stick with Bitcoin and you're going to dump your BlackRock coin.
I mean, it's inevitable that we're going to have paper Bitcoin, Keyan. I mean, I don't know if I've thought a lot about this. I've already come to terms with it.
I think it's a bit beside the point that I think Topher was making. But yeah, well, we're going to have paper Bitcoin. People want they don't want to hold custody.
Technically, last cycle we did with Block, or was it not BlockFi? The
BlockFi is one of them.
Was it? No, what's the other one? Gosh, it doesn't matter.
So the guy who went to jail. Mm-hmm. Oh, what was it? It's like a C, right? It's like CoinCensus or some shit like that.
Some shit coin.
I don't know.
Anyways, good points, Topher.
Yes.
This conversation, I think, could. Scoresby, you might have a part 2 here, or Topher, you might have a rebuttal, but this conversation is really interesting.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a fork this cycle, and
roll the tape. Somebody play it back.
We have a fork every cycle.
I feel like,
but so it's
really Car 2023, 2020.
You're the Bitcoin prophet, Car.
2023 Car and like was so on point. He saw all this. He saw this coming.
Can't have a soft fork without a hard fork.
Ooh.
It's always invites contention.
Thank you. I've been saying this.
Always.
I've been saying this. You know, I'm gonna start writing my things down. I wish there was a platform that I could put all my theories.
But then you couldn't like misremember what you said and
Say
claim
that
that
again?
you
I'm not
predict
gonna
the
hear you.
future.
Don't you have your own zine?
I could put it on there, but this feels better.
Anyway, it's good. It's nice to be. I think this is good to get in preparation for the fork that seems like it might be coming. I think it seems.
Honestly, Jimmy said this in 24, and if Jimmy, you're watching right now, he did say that there was I forget what post he posted on Stacker News, but I think it was right around when the ordinal stuff was going on.
I know. Yeah, I remember that. You and I talked about it on this podcast. But predicting a fork in Bitcoin is a lot like predicting the price is going to go up.
Well, I mean, Jimmy has experience with all this stuff, so I mean, it's a little bit different. Like if it would come from somebody like me, I'd be like, whatever, car. But like Jimmy's been around the block, like he knows like these people that are involved.
It doesn't change that it's like a prediction. It's like Jimmy. I know. I would believe Jimmy more if he said the price is going to go up, but it's still just it just kind of makes sense from like the dynamics of the system that the price is going to go up. That there's going to be fork.
Maybe Jimmy
he did attribute it to ordinals though.
Yeah, maybe Jimmy will write.
And it does seem like the ordinal folks are.
Maybe if you're listening, Jimmy, you'll write a updated post on what your thoughts on that. I would love to read it. Anyways, haven't seen him around the comments. Have you seen him around the comments?
I don't think so. He might be traveling.
Oh, okay. Anyways, cool. It's great, man. No wonder this was number one.
Yeah, it's very good. I'm saying it's the stuff we need to all be learning about, preparing talking about. This is the stuff. Yeah, we shouldn't be talking about whatever. I don't know what we're talking about now. Bitcoiners.
Run your own node.
Trump, Bitcoin
Run
Reserve.
Your own node.
Run your own node. Accept Bitcoin in exchange for things.
And be patient with Lightning. It's growing up. Yeah. The next. Oh, you want to jump into meta right now, or you want to go into?
We could. Oh, we should talk about our top stories, eh?
That's
whatever.
We could do meta at the end. Let's do the wait, how do you pronounce that?
Aardvark.
The Aardvark origin story.
Like the anteater?
No. This is from Health and Fitness Territory.
Is that how you say it? Is that how they pronounce it?
I want you to say it.
Me?
Yeah.
The Aardvark?
Aardvark. Oh.
So what is this?
It's 1A. So Aardvark tells us the story of their health and fitness.
Oh.
And so they turned 38. They had plantar fasciitis. They had bad knees.
Ooh.
They were pushing 300 pounds on the scale. And they resolved to get fit. They wanted to be fit by 40. And
Are they relatively new?
Yeah,
they are.
Really a 2006 Time Magazine Person of the Year?
I think they've said that several places.
Who was 2006? We're afraid to Google this.
Oh no, we're gonna.
We're getting to the bottom of it now.
So like, this is Mel Gibson.
You. That makes sense. You were
Holy
Wow.
crap, he got us totally.
Bazinga.
Oh my god.
Yes, you.
so
Yes,
it's
you control the information age. Welcome to your world. That's cool.
Pretty good. I haven't had that joke played on me before, so
That's good.
it's like a dad joke that he like held on to for literally 20 years.
I'm surprised no one picked it up on their page.
He said somewhere he's going to do an AMA because he was 2006 Time Magazine Person of the Year. I'm like, wow, who is he?
It's you.
It's you.
Cool. Anyways, good poster.
No, it's great. Yeah. So he talks about how he got to fit, and so he got himself down 100 pounds in 11 months.
50,000 bugs per night.
Yes, I think he's at 200 pounds. Is what he
They
said
really
somewhere
eat
else.
bugs?
Oh, aardvarks eat bugs. Yes, they're anteaters. Well, I think they also eat probably.
This is a real person, though, right?
Relatives of ants. Yeah.
Oh no! So he didn't eat bugs for his diet.
No.
I'm kind of skimming through the story.
His siblings called him an aardvark growing up because he works really hard like an aardvark eats 50,000 bugs, like they're tireless. And so that's what he said his like internal mantra was while he was getting fit was you're an aardvark, big and strong, you're an aardvark, you think you're King Kong. So this is like what his siblings the song that they would sing around him while he was growing up, kind of ridiculing him, but he, turned around, owned it, like reappropriated it, and yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah, cool. And I think he shared in another thread his body transformation, like a shirtless body
It
transformation.
looks like a possum.
It does, but it has
looks
like
a Texas possum.
a long snout.
Mm.
And I think it's designed for eating bugs. They're
I used to-
related.
I
They're
used to know a lady who used to
marsupials, I
feed
think.
possums in South Austin. It's the weirdest thing.
Possums are pretty cool. We have one living under one of our buildings.
They'll attack you, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, and then Jana made this cool.
Oh yeah, let's jump into that. Here we go. My extreme.
No, wait,
pra-
no, back. Jana's the comic strip that she made, which
Wait,
is
where
really
is
good.
that at?
You go back to the post you were just on.
I'm lost now. I got to do it all over again. Ard. Wait.
Two A's.
Ard. Vark. I think that's right. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it has a great story.
It kind of
arc.
reminds you of Rocco's Modern Life. Yeah. Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, like all the little expressions are great.
Little sweat drips. Maybe like 25, 30 minutes.
Heck yeah.
Are those bandages?
Yeah, because he has bad knees.
Yeah, I thought that was cute.
Who's that supposed to be?
Like all the little details.
Like some jerk that's just like.
His siblings.
The little scary guy. Yeah, that's the.
You can't see this in the corner stackers, but let me zoom in here, and then this is the
Him at the end.
Yeah.
I kept digging.
Yeah, that's straight from the story. And see his big muscle arm?
It looks like he like
Yeah.
dislocated it.
Yeah, right.
He's got so many muscles on it.
So strong.
It's
right?
great.
He got run over by a car.
So I love the artwork with the dumbbells in the lower left. It's just so like kind of doesn't make sense but does. It's amazing.
You should do comic strips for your comments every
Yeah.
time. Oh man, this is great. Like imagine if she did one of these for everybody's post that like tells their story.
I like that overhand grip.
I feel like we're evolving Stacker News right now. This is
You could be
crazy.
like one of those people, you know, like when you go to like Disney World and they like do a
Stenographer?
cartoon of you. You get them to tell you their life story, and you do a cartoon.
Would you ever do that, Jenna? Would you ever be a stenographer for like a court thing or something? Could you?
For court?
Like, do you ever see those people that like draw like in a court in a trial?
Are they drawing or are they like
Yeah.
typing?
drawing.
Stenographer.
Yeah, I'm wrong. Yeah.
They actually draw what it looks like inside the courtroom.
Wait, no, a stenographer.
They'll try and
is-
capture people's expressions.
Is that a stenographer?
Yeah.
No, a stenographer is
So
the
like-
typist.
They're in the courtroom with
Then
what was his
who is
name,
the one
Luigi?
that? Who is the one?
I think
that,
they're an
who's
artist.
the one that's
I
the
think
artist?
illustrator, like a court illustrator,
What do they
or
call it? Court.
what would be the word?
Oh, I guess.
Illustrator.
it could be a court illustrator. Let's see what the salary is.
Oh, so it is a court. Oh, a courtroom sketch artist. See what the salary is?
Yeah.
Actually, let me go to pull it up, Jamie, real quick. Pull that up, Jamie.
No, it was like the first hit.
Oh no, I can skip that. How much does a courtroom illustrator make? Oh, come on. Oh no.
I feel like these positions
Get a
are
stacker
big
to pay
deal
for the.
because
You have to connect.
I have to connect.
Do one
if
time.
you're in a
Was it?
courtroom where there's no
here.
cameras allowed, then
Yeah.
all you have to go on is the sketches.
Oh, 22 an hour. That's really
Ooh, look at
low.
that, bro.
It's really low.
And you'd be a top earner.
I mean, but did you see your other drawing? It
But
was
you're
great.
you're just drawing though. You're
Your other
drawing.
drawing
You're
was
in a
great.
court. It's like true crime.
But she's
every day.
drawing multiple slide panels, so
Yeah, I'm not that good at drawing.
Yeah, if you have to be accurate, maybe not. But if it
Just stick to the aardvarks.
if it just
Dude,
needs
you
if
should
Make it a
like
courtroom
tons
full of
of-
aardvarks.
it's funny.
it needs to be heartfelt
Oh wait,
and
that's like
thoughtful
somebody
and
made
convey
like,
a
is it
story,
necessary?
you'll win.
Yeah, maybe it's only for like the big cases. There you go. Yeah, this other one you had, Keyan, was My Extreme Privacy Journal.
Yeah. Running Bitcoin has been doing these tutorials that they're pulling out of a book, I think, called Extreme Privacy, which is like this tome. I think Jameson Lopp references it in his own pursuit of extreme privacy. But I get, this is one part of it where he basically makes his iOS mobile device as private as possible, and he walks us through doing that. I think the last one was them talking about an ungoogled graphene phone. Yeah, and they're doing that. They're doing it on iOS, which I guess it's to some extent possible. And they have like their sandbox mode that I know a lot of people run their iPhones in, who prefer the iPhone for a variety of other reasons. But I guess there's even more you can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a surveillance phone for sure. So I would keep that in mind.
It's a what?
It's a surveillance phone.
Oh,
but yeah, you can remove some of these things. Did you see that lawsuit? So they got sued for Apple got sued for
using the microphone
privacy suit
or storing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a $95 million case here, but yeah, basically they got sued. Here goes. Yeah, the iPhone maker last week paid $95 million to settle a class action lawsuit in which plaintiffs alleged it routinely recorded their private conversations after they activated Siri unintentionally and disclosed these conversations in third parties such as advertisers. But
yeah, I'd be curious to read, but I mean, I suspect in their terms of service they indicate that any conversation you have with Siri, they're allowed to resell the conversation and probably personalize it. But I guess it seemed like the important
well, I mean, you have
word
Tim
there was
Cook out
unintentional.
there, like Tim Apple, he's out there like telling everybody, "Oh, it's the most private thing, and we care about privacy." So it kind of makes sense. Anyways, good stuff though. Tim Apple, that's his Twitter name. Yeah. No, it's Tim Cook. Yeah. Cool.
Tim Cook's apples.
That's all your posts this week?
Those are my top posts. There were lots of great posts this week. I had spent
other
way
ones?
too much money on Stacker News this week.
Any other ones?
There are lots. There were just so many. There were conversations about switching to Linux. Den had another money class. Lots of cowboy credit talk. Some of it was good. Some of it was bad.
Territory's making money.
Yeah, we had some. Let's see who had some good revenue.
Stacker Sports.
Yeah, look at it.
Oh, shout out Stacker Sports. Dude, I met the Gray Ruby in Undisciplined.
Did you actually
No. It was private. It was a private audio only, but it was cool. Check it out. It's on Fountain. Boom. Stacker Sports.
Boost them.
I did. I boosted him.
Oh, you boost. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a command to you. It was to
Yeah.
Stackers.
We had some good conversation. It was good. It was good banter. They really love Stacker News.
Ah,
I was genuinely shocked.
that's good.
I was like, wow.
Yeah,
I really
me
do.
too. Every day.
I do love Stacker News. But yeah, they mentioned your name and EK and the whole gang.
The whole gang. Oh, that's
Check it out.
nice. Apparently, it's something about you being a Raiders fan. Can you tell us the backstory?
You gotta check it out. Like, so apparently there's some.
You
some-
look like a
There's
Raiders
some.
fan.
They have some stuff
Went to
there.
a lot of Raiders
You
games.
gotta
as a kid.
watch. You gotta watch Stacker News or
All right.
Stacker Sports. I'm sorry, Stacker Sports. They're fans of this show.
Did you like Scottie Pippen?
Like the Bulls.
No, the Celtics.
Scottie Pippen. Yeah, he was a good player. Okay.
Carr's more of a Dennis Rodman type of guy.
I like Kobe. All right, let's get into my top stories of the week. First one is firefighters scramble to corral.
Corral.
Like coral and coral are spelled the same.
No, I think Corral is 2 R's and Coral is 1 R, I believe.
Can we get a spell check on that? Firefighters scramble to corral.
Corral.
Fast
Corral.
moving wild.
I say
Wildfires.
I got to draw.
Palisades.
I've been in Texas
This
as well.
is a news territory. Did you see what's going on in California? Keyan.
I have seen it. Yeah, it's crazy. It looks like it fucking sucks. If you've ever been through that part of LA, some of the like best, it's like the best real estate, one of the most beautiful areas probably in the world. Crazy, like one of the nicest places probably to have a home. And they're burnt literally to the ground.
Topher, you're from California, or were from California. What
Once
do
upon a
you
time.
what do you think about all this?
I don't know.
Intended for residents near the
Whoa.
It's just really sad. It's not surprising, but it's really sad.
So is there like, so it's going through a whole list of like what's been burnt? Kenneth Fire, West Hills, 1,000 acres, 35% contained. Eaton Fire in San Gabriel Valley, 13,000 acres. 3 deaths, 4 firefighter injuries. Over 600 fire personnel assigned. Cause of fire unknown. Palisades Fire, 20,000
bad one.
acres, 2 deaths, 5,300 structures burned, 8% contained. Dude, these look like attacks. So I was saying before the show, this doesn't look like normal. This looks like a coordinated attack. Say that again.
Isn't the time of year kind of weird?
Well, you'd think that, but in LA, it's basically summer weather or spring weather. It's basically nice weather year round. It's not like it's not snowing there right now. And I guess what the alternative to like it being a coordinated attack is the environment, which is shared by a large region in LA, is prone to bouts of very low humidity, so very dry conditions, and high winds. And so if a fire starts, it spreads incredibly well.
So it's
in
not
those conditions.
possible. This is just me saying this. It's not possible that somebody could shoot a laser from space or something.
It's probably possible. Probably someone could, but why?
Wait, say that again.
I did also entertain the, direct energy weapons idea for a hot minute there yesterday, looking at it. But there might be nothing to that. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's like all this destruction still happens. So what's the point of, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, dude. I mean, this list is crazy. Look at that list.
I think the thing that I'm seeing a lot is like it didn't need to be this bad. Like the fires are inevitable, especially in a region like this that's very dry and very windy. But they're usually easier to contain, but they're not. The claim is, and it seems to be very political now, so I don't know what to trust. The claim is that California was not cleaning up a lot of the brush and deadfall from their forests and greenery and stuff, and that's what made this so much worse. I don't know if that's true because it's like it's
crazy.
we have a lot of people who are politically aligned saying that, but it probably is consistent. I would bet there are political lines on which certain people are against cleaning up
here's
forests.
a video from Elon Musk. He said that a friend in LA just took this video and it's just all burned to the ground. Dude, that's crazy.
I mean, they had someone going down Highway 1, like through Malibu, I guess in the Pacific Palisades area, and there were homes that are like right on the water, like right on the other side of this like little highway. These like very homes you would see in like Hollywood movies, and they're just burned down to the like pillars that they sit on over the water. So sad.
So this is all this. Oh,
Covering us so well.
yeah. There's another one there.
Mel Gibson's home burned down.
Mel
Did you see
Gibson's burned down.
that? No way.
Who's burned down? I don't know who that.
I feel like that would happen to one of his characters, but
Oh, an actor.
yeah. But the actor himself.
Yeah, and I guess they're now sharing bios and stuff. Leave it to Twitter to figure out who's to blame.
Oh yeah, there's lots of DEI stuff.
So Bitcoin also could potentially, I mean, this post showed up on Stacker News. I thought it was interesting how much Bitcoin was just lost in California wildfire.
Oh.
So this was linking to that X cancel site. And this is somebody said, so seriously, not to make light of a horrid situation, but functionally, all the Bitcoin holders in an upscale area of Cali just lost the private keys they had hidden behind the light switches and taped under their desk. We probably just locked up another sailor buy worth of Bitcoin forever. What do you think about that? Too soon?
I would guess most of those people are holding their Bitcoin on exchanges, so probably not. Most people who are taking their Bitcoin into self-custody, I don't think do it that stupidly anymore, but maybe they do.
And then another post I saw on Stacker News was easy to mock California. This is from Kepford. He said, is it easy to mock the government of California? I would say it is a joke, but it's actually evil. The government of California has managed to lose population in other states, even though the weather is amazing. And it just goes into kind of just blaming the state itself. Any comments from former Californians
Yeah,
at the table?
yeah, it's
The
easy.
government in California is evil? That's news to me.
I mean, he goes into here, he says, there are subtle things that California has done that might sound nice to the average person. And then he goes into all these other things, like restricting how much insurance companies can charge, insane restrictions on housing construction and construction in general, stupid occupational licensing regulations, stupid tax policies, insane projects like high-speed rail project.
This is just another domino in a long, well-documented list of dominoes that have fallen in California that highlight just failure in government, failure in infrastructure, failure in essential services.
So do you think we just need better leaders? Do you think it's just as simple as that? Or do you think we need better principled leaders?
Better money. That's
Or
what I
do you
think.
think it's just money?
I think we just need
Better money?
I think culture is broken. I think everything breaks when culture is broken. And I believe money breaks culture. Bad
You
money.
said something earlier that was interesting about the evil thing or whatever. I don't know if you want to share that.
Oh, well, it's no secret that the state of California makes money off of every wildfire through federal aid. And even Trump highlighted this when he was president in 2016, because we have these massive wildfires and they always spread out of control. It's always due to incompetence when they start. And there's no economic incentive for them not to happen from the perspective of the California state government. They make lots of money every time one of these happens. And all of their friends make money. It creates new development opportunities for real estate because they get to bulldoze these areas. And
you
build
kind
new
of see
houses.
similar things here in Austin too. I mean, it's not really well known, but I've heard from certain individuals that, like, whenever there's like homeless stuff that goes on here and they have to go to the hospital or something, there's some people that make a lot of money from that. And so I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to know
It's hard to know.
the actions of individuals that are leading a state or city, unless they.
What do you think happens to everyone whose house just got burned down? Like, are they permanently leaving California, you think?
Well, let's see. Their fire insurance was likely canceled recently, and they probably didn't have any other options for insurance because all the brokers left town. So what's really scary to me is like how many people that lost homes are essentially being denied coverage. And this is how the state of California makes money, because insurance companies get to deny coverage, which I don't even blame them at this point, because if the state is instigating these fires, which they are, at least indirectly through incompetence, then as an insurance company where you're already heavily regulated on how you make money, how can you possibly offer a policy for profit for fire insurance in California? It just seems like that's crazy. So a lot of them left. You can't get fire insurance. So if your house burns down, then really your only recourse is to get FEMA money. So they're probably holding out. I mean, my family had a house burned down in a fire in the past. So I've been through this. And at this point, like, it's either they get the FEMA money if that comes around, or they just lost everything and they have no recourse. So, I feel really bad for these people, because a lot of these people, just because they're living in the Palisades or Malibu, it doesn't mean they're rich. Like, a lot of these people bought their houses like 50, 60 years ago when there was nobody else around. And one of the few protections we have in California is Proposition 13, which limits the government's ability to raise your property taxes, because that's another way the government fleeces you and steals your property, is through property taxes. But we have Prop 13 to stop that. So a lot of these people, they're not necessarily rich. They just bought a house in a really nice location a long time ago, and they kept it in the family. And because of low property taxes, they're able to live there even if they're retired and they don't make that much in income and they're living off a pension or something. And I know those people because I worked in one of the areas that I worked in was in Palisades. And now they've lost everything and they have no recourse. So
yeah, I've seen reports of that, exactly what you're saying, like retired couple denied fire insurance. Or is it just like, this is a kind of clever time of year, like maybe your insurance policy just expired last month?
No, this has been a problem going on for a while now, because these wildfire, like this all started around the early 2000s, and it's just never stopped, where we would have these massive wildfires that go out of control, and insurance companies are already overregulated on one side, and then they have to deal with these massive like payouts on the other side, and so it just became impossible to get fire insurance. So this has been a struggle for a long time. Like, if you have a house in the mountains, or you have a house anywhere that's considered like a dangerous area or it's at risk of fire, it's going to be impossible for you to get fire insurance. So
then what do you do? Like, if you wait for the FEMA money or like any type of like recovery, do you rebuild, or are you leaving? Is that kind of a pattern?
Rebuild, well, with what money? Because if you don't have the money, you can't rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still on the hook for your mortgage. I mean, the bank will require you to hold fire insurance, but then you have insurance companies that will deny coverage. So then you have that whole thing that you have to go through, is being denied coverage.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just in health insurance where insurance carriers just gleefully deny you your coverage, or they underpay. It happens with home insurance too.
Yeah.
So
Too bad there's no CEO of Wildfires.
CEO of Wildfires.
So
That's Gavin Newsom. He's pretty much the governor of wildfires at this point.
So other posts, and this is not to just to let people know, rents are falling in Austin. So this was posted this week, and just happened to be weird. I saw that it's posted. But is this accurate, Keyan?
I believe it is. I
Yeah.
believe I've noticed rents falling in my neighborhood. There's quite a few places that have been up for rent for a while, unoccupied for a while, probably because people are sticking to their higher prices. They don't want to lower them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely going on. It's happening.
Yeah.
We don't have fires here.
TikTokers
really.
talking about it too. Look at that. Boom. Terra Apartments, Bluff Springs,
Bougie. Yeah.
Zillow. Boom.
Is that out in Georgetown?
Which one? This one?
Yeah. Yeah,
this is
Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Looks big.
Cascader said, I moved from a worse part of town to a better one. The old place tried to play hardball with me and increased my rent for the 4th or 5th time. Yeah, but he was living in I cut my rent like 30% by moving. Yeah, totally.
Flamagool. No, I don't know what Italian.
Cool. And then we're going to jump into Meta. Meta is what cowboy credits are and are not. You dropped this post on Monday in response to all the stackers because they were
shitting on my chest.
Pooping on your chest.
Yep.
Blood Poet, what do you have to say about cowboy credits?
I did notice earlier this week that it was big plate of shit served to Coob for him to eat. And so I just say,
Who said I was eating the shit on my
well, you're
chest?
eating the shit?
No, it was just they were taking shits on my chest. Maybe they wanted me to eat them.
Yeah, he's not going to eat the shit, you guys.
In that show I told you about, like I've been watching the How to Survive or whatever. It's like it's a series or whatever. It's like they put you in these awkward situations. In those situations, they never eat shit. They do drink their piss though. So.
Yeah. So Bear Grylls, what's he talking about?
No, there's like this show where like How I
Reality
Survived
show.
This. Those are so good, dude. Anyways, Keyan, you should do an episode of How I Survived.
How I survived How I survived introducing cowboy credits to rabid stackers.
Yeah, so you went in pretty hard. You said cowboy credits are so that stackers with insufficient lighting setups can participate on stacker news. Cowboy credits are because real lighting, and you kept going on, and I think you hammered home.
Well, I was just trying to explain. I was trying to clear up anything that was possibly confusing by saying possibly too many things. But just to like have a record of what is happening and what isn't happening, so that when someone says XYZ is happening, I can just link them to this, and they can maybe disambiguate the situation for themselves. Yeah, and like the weird thing is, in general, it seemed to purge. It seemed to purge some people who are maybe not very down for the community, which is good. And you and I discussed earlier this week where Prophet Car had predicted or had said that Coob needs to make Stacker News harder to use.
I said that like a year ago.
Yeah, you came in with your robe and your
No, because
staff.
I think that morning I had like a matcha or something. But I was thinking,
It's like an ayahuasca for you.
I was thinking long and hard. I was like, man, I love where Stacker News is at right now. I don't want it to grow.
Non-fat ayahuasca.
Anyways, but
The steamed milk.
I think you kind of did do that though. So
Yeah, no,
whether you tried to or not, but
I definitely didn't try to, but I think there does seem to be, there might be something to that, because the content quality, it seems shortly after the change went up and not down, and that might not sustain, but I think there is something to people who are participating in a community knowing that people are there for the right reasons, and by having this hurdle to get through to be inside the community might improve the inside, the dynamics of the community.
I think it works in real life too.
Yeah.
Call me crazy.
No, it does.
But I think it's even more important where a place you're trading value.
Yeah, ideas,
Yeah, that too.
thoughts.
Cool. Did you have any top comments here that you thought were? Who's that? Frost Dragon.
That's me.
Yep.
I am a Kermit.
There you go.
If not what's the like hairy guy? The like wild man?
Oh no,
I could.
Animal.
I definitely look like Snuffleupagus now. Animal. Yeah.
The one that plays the drums.
Yes. Yeah.
So he had a question. He said, "Let me know," and he means this from a good place. He says, "Let me know if the following are correct. If I earn daily rewards that they are sent to my profile balance as real stats, they can be withdrawn whether or not I have an attached wallet. Same is true for territory revenue." And he points upward. If everyone had a Lightning wallet, they could send a receive and zap button would send real sats from wallet to wallet. You can pay to post or comment with CCs. So he goes through a long list. Is that true? Everything he says?
Yes. Everything he said was true. He got it. He basically was, telling me back what the post said in a more concise manner, checking whether he understood it. On a follow-on to this, Nout came and he wrote another post kind of summarizing this post, which I think explains it a little more concisely for someone who doesn't want to read all of this. But I think we'll see. We do have a lot of work to do about communicating it, and we have to because then this communicates it to people who are there when it happened, but people who show up are going to be confused.
Well, you have a change log, though. I think I told you to make one at some point. You made one, right? Didn't you?
KR was maintaining it. I think it's still down there. It probably hasn't been updated in like months, I would
There
guess.
you go.
But usually when we do releases, we link to past releases so you can walk back through them.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to.
Stackers, if you're out there, somebody help Coob with the changelog.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll add like features where it happens as you experience Stacker News. We'll tell you about Cowboy Credits.
Have you ever thought of doing like one of those? And I'm not suggesting this is just an idea. That's probably bad. Never mind. I won't bring it up.
Sounds good.
Actually, I'll bring it up.
Okay.
Have you ever seen those little pointers? And they like, so you do this, and then it takes you here.
Oh yeah, like Clippy.
I was playing some dumb game on my phone the other day, and it was like, show me how to play this game. And it's like, you do this first, and then you go here, and then you do. It's like
It's a walkthrough.
It's a walkthrough, yeah.
Walkthrough.
Have you ever thought about doing that for Stacker News?
Get like a little cowboy clippy.
We could do that. I think on some level,
Cowboy Clippy.
on some level,
Just this guy right here.
it's a
Howdy, partner.
failure.
Just this guy right here, just going, yeah, you're.
I'd
It's
rather-
supposed to be Jimmy's song. You guys know that, right?
Yeah, that's actually he posed for that icon.
That's Jimmy's song.
He had to stand very still.
That's a Stacker.
And he had to shrink
Easter egg. No one
really
knew about.
small.
I don't know what that is, but I always loved it.
What
What gun is that? Is that just a regular gun?
It's a revolver, bro.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Other Easter eggs. Did you really? We're going to jump into it here soon. What did you say, Keyan,
Easter-
before we...
Oh, was I saying something? Yeah.
I might have interrupted you.
Oh yeah, I think it's a sign of especially for something like Stacker News, it's a sign of overcomplexity. For a game that has novel controls,
So I'm going to say Stacker News is a game.
it is sort of a game, but it should be simpler. I think we definitely probably need a walkthrough, but that's a sign that we fucked up and we made things too complex. So sorry.
But for a game, it makes sense.
For the language, but for a game it makes sense. But for Stacker News, it's like we failed to make a simple application. We've over complexified.
That's possible. We're going to jump into the top stackers of the week. I always forget. There you go. Top stackers of the week. Coop.
I did it. Man, look at I spent a crap ton.
Ray Ruby, look, number 4.
Gray Ruby, Undisciplined.
Wait, did he stack this much this week?
Yeah, look at that.
No way. Really?
Yeah, probably through his territory.
Wow.
We can look
That's
at
amazing.
territories. That might be more fun than looking at stackers because that's probably actually more competitive.
It's top territories? Oh,
I would go to revenue. You want to go to revenue?
There you go.
Bam.
Stacker Sports.
Stacker
Education,
Sports.
Devs territory. Bitcoin Beginners is.
Damn, who owns the
in top
Bitcoin
10.
territory?
That would be me.
I'm surprised movies.
That's
is
where I
not-
get all my
I'm
monies.
surprised movies is not up here.
We don't get many posts in movies, Car. You're probably one of the more recent posts.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, we haven't had much of a rally there yet. Like you really have to if you want a territory to succeed, you have to post at least once a day in the territory
I'm
so
gonna
that it
drop
reminds
my-
people it
I'm
exists.
going to drop my top 2024 movies in movies maybe this weekend.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm waiting on one more movie. I have to watch one more movie before I.
One post for each movie would probably do better, but you don't want to. But you'd have to space them out. You really want to.
No, I'm just going to do one post.
Okay.
I haven't decided. No? Who owns the movies territory?
John Hoddle, who owns whatisbitcoin.com.
Yeah.
John Hoddle owns. He bought with friends. He bought movies,
great.
podcasts. What else did he buy? No, the art was one of the first. Not culture.
I like posting the movies.
Oh, I forget the other ones he owns, but he owns
The
memes.
tech
He
one's
owns
another one I like
memes,
posting too.
and he owns.
Who
He is
owns
quite
education?
diversified. Lots of top level.
Oh, this is a new one.
Oh no, that's been there since the very beginning.
Wow, that's the School of Bitcoin. What's that? Oh, wow.
These guys, I think, are based in
Oh, that's cool.
out of the
Do
United
we
States.
know these people?
I believe I know who they are. I don't want to say the name if it's not
Oh,
like
I don't
on the
know who
site.
they are.
But I believe the founder is Katie Nolan.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. So look, education territories, big territory on Stacker News. That's cool stuff.
Yeah, that one blew up. I wonder what got posted there this week.
Now we're gonna jump into the most. Wait, how much are they charging for their 100 sats? Seems to be the main thing. 100 sats. Now we're gonna jump into the most popular. The most popular
The most popular.
segment of Bitcoin.
Echo.
I got my own car. I'm popular. I got my own.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Popular.
Almost messed up this
I
entire
make
segment.
Cool stuff stack. Ain't that a hack?
I'm
Keyan,
ready for the segment.
who's winning the Cowboys? The Cowboys.
Well, they're hiding, and they stayed hidden, Car. All of the sheriffs
can you look further down
and
the
all the
frontier?
territories
Can
can't find
you
them.
See, maybe there's
No.
no.
Even with this hat, the sun is.
What color bandana are they wearing?
That's a good question. Out here in the here,
So
out
it
here
looks
and
like-
here,
It looks like
it's
undisciplined number 3
red.
has.
They wear
tri-
red
he has
band. They're
the-
Crips.
He has a triple.
Oh, they're Bloods.
It's triple crown. Is that what we're calling it, Jenna?
Is that what you get whenever you win a horse race?
Or what do they call that?
Oh, I think it is.
What do they call that? In
Yeah, that's like the biggest horse
Okay.
race. Yeah, Triple Crown's pretty good.
Triple crown, triple stack, maybe. I don't know. That sounds kind of weird. Sounds like a Taco Bell taco.
Yeah, it sounds delicious.
Triple stack.
It's probably like it's a burrito with a taco
Did I ever
inside
tell you
that's deep fried.
that there's a lady that we
Quesadilla.
met that knew about Stacker News, and every time she passed by a Taco Bell, she would take a picture of that stacker, and then she would send me it on Signal. Did I ever tell you that?
No, I don't think so. Were you guys having like a love affair?
No.
So why was it a secret?
No, I think I just never showed you it. But yeah, I just remembered right now when talked about the triple crown. Anyways, 117, number 4.
So many
Blockchain
stackers
Book.
in hiding.
Yeah.
We let them hide, and they hide.
What are they? Are they yellow?
They're yellow.
Oh, wow.
They're probably yellow.
Oh, wow. I like what you did there.
That's right.
Dang. Did you plan all this out, Keyan?
What do you plan? What out?
Like he just called it. It's so good. It's yellow, the whole cowboy thing, the stacker
I've
thing.
no-
Like it's all fitting together.
Stackers doesn't really fit with the cowboy theme. Let's be real, but yellow does.
He even moved to Texas. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah, you got to lean in. You got to lean in to what feels right.
Anyways, Gray Ruby number 8, still stacking in after all these years. Number 10.
Yeah,
That's the top 10.
yeah. I think Rsync dropped off. Rsync did
T
not
and
like
Stacker.
cowboy
T and Stacker. What
credits.
do they always post?
T and Stacker, they owned photography for a while. I think they had to take a break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they talk about. I think they just lost a family member.
Oh,
Talk about. Sorry, I'm not. I'm
is that a hairball?
probably. You have so much on your. Yeah, it's like growing in my throat. Yeah, they had a family member pass, and they said that it might like a lot of what mediates how easily the estate passes on happens at a bank. Like all of that is kind of established at a bank, and I read about that recently. But
That's tough.
yeah,
Zap 'em.
I believe they're in Tennessee, based on the NIM. Zap.
Yeah. And that's the top Cowboys this week on the most popular segment in Bitcoin, which I'm shocked at how popular it's become. Clip this, Wumble. You should clip this part and then make it the most popular. And people are like, what? This is not a popular segment.
I think it's only in context. It's like ketchup. You don't really eat it on its own.
I think it's the most boring segment personally, but no, I'm wrong. It's the most popular. Anyways, that's all we got this week. Keyan, what are you doing this week?
What am I doing?
Or this weekend, I should say.
This weekend, I also don't know the answer to that question.
Just working.
Probably mostly working. Yeah, clean the rest of the shit off my chest.
Jeez.
Bring it back around.
Gosh.
But yeah, probably just I have lots of code review. I'm so behind on code review. Probably do that most of the weekend. How about you, Car? What are you doing?
We got a workshop tomorrow, so we're gonna do
What is the
that.
workshop on?
I'm going to announce the top builder teams, and then Teresa's doing a workshop on Bitcoin something. Check it out. I forget the name at the top of my head. It's been a long week. I don't know. I'm gonna play it out and see how many people show up. Oh, you should. You should come. Let me look it up. Hang on. Stackers. I got sidetracked. Weblab.com. Where would we go for that car? Where would we go for that? It would probably be under. Yeah, there we go. Here. It would probably be under.
Big news.
I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
Is it?
Think so?
Yeah, I guess you're right. And I hate GitHub. Oh, that's why, because it goes there. And then repository season 2. Sorry, Stackers, we're trying to answer a question here. Tomorrow's going to be on Beyond the Hype.
Nice.
Validating your Bitcoin startup idea with Teresa Martin. There you go.
Nice.
I'll probably share it online at some point. But yeah, that should be good.
Should.
What was it going to say? Fountain. We have
Boosts.
some boosts from last week. What were they? We had a user said, this program is okay. I might recommend to someone.
This program is mid.
Wow. That's
I love
amazing.
that. That's maybe like the best boost you've ever had.
At least they're honest.
I love how
I
like
love the
mediocre we
honesty.
are, but it's like
This program
it's a
is okay.
mediocrity worth.
It's
that's
weird.
remarkable.
It's the weird thing is
Literally
the
remarkable.
weird thing is they called it a program. So that's the tell there.
But I would
Why
be
is there
desperate
some
for
sort
new
of
content.
plan?
No, because no one calls it a program unless they're like a certain age.
Oh, so you're saying they're a little,
No, I'm just saying they might be
little
from a different time.
like a time traveler.
Blockchain Boog, he thinks it's amazing program.
Zap it, dude.
He zapped it for 5,000 cents. TN Stacker came in, said live from Pleb Lab. No, that's what we say at the beginning of the show. If you listen to the audio version, it's like it starts off with.
I've never listened to the audio.
You never
version.
listen to the audio version? Oh wow, yeah. If you listen, you can never listen to the audio version.
I've never listened
It's
to
a
it.
whole thing.
Is it
Hang on,
different?
wait, let me hit play.
Oh wow,
Hang on, yeah, it should be different.
that's
Let
wild.
me see if it works.
I prefer YouTube videos. I'm one of those
Yeah, it
people.
plays that.
Oh,
You remember that?
I think
That's where he's getting that from.
I,
You guys not know we did that for the show?
I know we did that for PBS.
No, we never did that for PBS.
Well, I did it whenever I did PBS.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
we
you
say
mean
it's
like
like
introdu-
it's Pleber Day. Pleber Day.
Oh yeah, that was Logan. Yeah. We have the final one from Piaz. He says, "Thank you, gentlemen," and he gives us a cheers.
You're welcome, Piaz.
420
Cheers to
cents,
you.
boom. I always talk to him on Nostr. He's a real one.
He is a real one.
Cool. That's all the boost on Stacker News Live this week. Apparently, it's just okay.
That's perfect. We're doing our job.
I don't know.
How do we make it not just okay though? Let
I
us
don't
know.
think we can.
user
I think we have to
401.
be different people to make it not okay. I enjoy it. It's my favorite part of the week.
Okay.
Just get to talk about stuff.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I look forward to it
Cool.
most of the time.
You guys have any final thoughts? Jana, what did you learn this week?
What are you doing this weekend? Now that we have
Oh no.
What are you doing this weekend?
I just started an oil painting, so I'm gonna try to finish that.
of what?
A cat, not
Oh.
my cat,
Someone else's cat?
someone else's cat.
There you go. She'll post it up here first.
See, there's a cat. That's a theme here,
Bloodpoet.com.
and I don't know if I learned anything. Sorry, I didn't know that was my.
Would you post it up here though? You think?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Wait, did you paint that?
I love that.
That's the
building.
picture.
Shut up.
That's the picture. So no, I didn't paint
I was
that.
gonna say, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, the
Can you tell
paintings.
where that is though?
Yeah,
That's the lottery building,
that's
right?
the old, right across the street from the old club.
Yeah, I'm standing at the lottery building and I'm looking at the building next to it. I never really finished that painting though, so
Yeah, the other day I was walking by here somewhere and I saw one of your pictures. And I was like, ah, there's Jana right there. Cool stuff. Pleb Poet Online, check it out. Or, I'm sorry, plebpoet.com, check it out.
What about you?
Topher, what do you got going on?
This weekend?
Yeah, this weekend.
Oh man, I don't know. Just boring work. Going to this workshop tomorrow.
Oh,
It's gonna be
nice.
pretty cool.
There you go.
wow.
He's actually doing a workshop next weekend. Topher's doing one called the multis. Wait, the multi-sig. Wait, the multiverse of multisigs.
The multiverse of multisig.
Isn't that a cool name?
It is a cool
name. I thought it was going to be
So that's going to be a whole thing. Topher, you don't
Come
have
check it
you don't
out.
have your own website, do you?
I don't. I try to stay anonymous.
Oh, I'm
and I do
sorry.
a terrible job of
But
it.
you have a GitHub though. I feel like you have a GitHub though. What is your GitHub? It's like BTC.
CM Druid.
Oh yeah, CM Druid. There you go. Boom. Sorry.
Whoa.
You have a lot of NIMs. You have
Nice.
like, I feel like I have like 3 NIMs for you.
I see them. They're multiplying too.
And they're all good. They're all
Way to stay anonymous, just have so many names.
Yeah.
Do that in real life too as well. Cool.
pro tip.